Before we start, I'd like to give much credit to the Kuma from Taiwan. I'll have a link to her Tumblr down in the description. Thank you so much, Kuma, for letting me use your art for the backdrop of this narration. I mean, I am like your #1 fan, so it means a lot to let you that you entrust me. That damn it, I'm bad at saying thank you. But it really means a lot because I'm like your #1 fan. I've been following you for about a year, and it's awesome that I get to use your art for something awesome. But full credit to you. It's not my art. It's your art, Kuma. Anyways, now that that's done, let's get on with the video. Hey everyone, alright, it is 1:09 in the morning and no one is still in my room, so I'm guessing that maybe I might read one more chapter. That's cool enough, alright? Yeah, I'm doing this for you guys, so think of it as like a token of like as appreciation for me. I don't know how the other 2 videos would go, but like how they will do, but I'll just keep going, you know? Because I think this is awesome to do, in my opinion. Now I really want a shot of Tabasco so I won't fall asleep. Because, you know, spicy things make you stay up longer, I guess. Chapter 7. Delayed, but not forgotten. This is in Ruby Rose's POV. Ruby Rose, I want you to be my girlfriend. Did Weiss just ask me, huh? She's still staring at me. Oh my gosh, she did. I looked down, kicking at Team Juniper's carpet with my combat boots. I've wanted this for so long, but I always pictured I'll be the one doing the asking, leaving Weiss all flustered and bashful. The sight of Weiss's serious face being topped off with a crimson blush could never be surpassed. Neither could this moment. I look forward again to see Weiss's eyes are downcast, and I don't need to look behind me to know that my sister and the rest of Team Juniper are all watching. Even John, who was at the door, directly behind Weiss, moved away, leaving me with my snow princess in view. Ahem. I hear Yang clear her throat, and before I could turn to her, I feel a punch in my arm and a palm in my back that sends me towards Weiss, so I'm now a foot away and looking up into those icy blue eyes. Weiss, I never thought you would go this far. For me. I don't know what to say. Of course I'm lying. I know exactly what to say, but I want to milk this moment for as long as possible. That may not be a good idea. Weiss is on the border of tears, and I see her reaching out to hug me. This is great! No, it's not great. What the fuck? Actually, she's opening the door to the room, granting me a moment to peek outside, and that her room door is open. Odd, I thought. Weiss closed it. Oh well. Wait, Weiss! I go wide and quickly push my foot to the door, slamming it shut before my precious heiress can open it as far enough to slip outside. With such a short distance, I don't need to use my samplets, but I think the romantic effect will help. I quickly placed one hand on Weiss's shoulder, a swarm of rose petals being left in my previous position, not even 2 feet behind me. I pushed Weiss against the wall, smiling at her, and while she looks away from me with those soft eyes and allowing me to see just how far her blush extends. The rose petals that appeared earlier are now dancing their way to the floor, some falling behind Weiss or between the 2 of us. A nice little romantic touch, courtesy of Ruby Rose. I won't let you go, Weiss, I whispered to her, sneaking my other hand around her waist. Ooh, Rose is the aggressive type, just like her big sis, Yang praises me. I thought I could happily go years without needing to know them, though. My sister enjoys to command the tempo or wherever it is she does with her date of the week. We won't let her go, Ruby. If she does, we'll break her legs. You know, this comment makes both me and Weiss shiver. None of us are not sure if she is being serious or not. Weiss, I love you. I have for a long time. For over half a semester, I fought my feelings. Not sure what they were, but I love you, Weiss. I fist bumped myself in mine. That was enough. That wasn't to make up for my terrible use of words 2 days ago. That awful phrase, the feelings are mutual, echoing in my head. Yuck. And I'm still like slapping myself for what happened earlier. No, for all my fuck ups earlier. Man. There, it's a slap. That's like slap number 5. You dolts! I hear Weiss screaming with anger in her eyes. The rest of the room going quiet and staring in shock. I'll be too if it wasn't so happy that she will be my girlfriend before the day is done. You're supposed to just say yes. Do you have any idea how hard this is for me? She is so mad, flustered, and confused. I mean, I do have her pinned to a wall after she asked me to be her girlfriend. Okay, so maybe not ask. It was more of an attempt to ask that turned into her just saying what she wants and leaving me to pick up the breadcrumbs. But that's in her style. That's her style. But I fake an upset look, my trademark puppy eyes hitting their mark and causing her face to turn a shade of darker red when she makes the innocent mistake of making eye contact with me. I'm your adult, I whispered to her so nobody else can hear. Thinking back for so long, Weiss had a sparkle in her eye every time she called me adult. And now that we are at this point, I now know those were her poor attempts at affection. A beautiful princess's affections hidden within a castle of ice. Hence the title name. Well, hence part of the title name, I mean. Just kiss already, you two! I hear Yang shout at us, drawing a giggle from Pyrrha, Ren, and John, who all have been quiet and allowing the moment to happen. They're all such great friends, and I'm happy to have met them. I would appreciate you not rushing me to kiss my own girlfriend, Weiss snaps in return. I haven't even answered her, and she is already marking me as her own. Not that I mind, but it's just like her to overlook some formalities, even when she admires them so much. And seems I'm not the only one in the room that knows, since it earned a small wave of giggles from my sister and John's team. It takes Weiss a moment, but soon enough I see tears rolling down her cheeks and a hand over her lips as she realizes her little fault. Yes, Weiss, I am your girlfriend, I answer with pride in my voice, and move my right hand from her shoulder up to her cheek, using my thumb to wipe away some of her tears. In response to my lingering hand, Weiss raises her left arm to brush my hand away and caress my cheek instead. Her touch is always so cold, but it's her natural temperature. It's part of her aura, part of her, and I love everything about her. Weiss, I begin to speak, but she cuts me off with a newly found confidence to me accepting her love. Just shut up and kiss me, you dolt, she answers and begins leaning down with half-opened eyes. But I'm your dolt, I whisper, mimicking her motion and lifting my head to adjust to our slight height differences. Her 2.5-inch heels weren't helping the matter. But you're my dolt, she responds, her cold breath touching my lips. Tell me just how close we are to having our first kiss. I expect our first to be something basic, a simple peck or a 5-second lip tug as I've seen on the cover of one of Blake's books. But Weiss is serious about this and proves it's far too well. As our lips connect, she tilts her head in a little further towards one side. I love the feeling of her cold lips against mine. Nothing in this world could beat this feeling. Okay, maybe that can. Okay, I want to know that. I say to myself when I feel something brushing over my lips. That wasn't her lips. I go wide-eyed, the wet muscle demanding and taking entry to my mouth, rather than awaiting my response. Weiss's eyes are closed and soon mine are as well. Her lips are vibrating, making mine tickle. Wait, vibrating? My ears snap back into reality, picking up the faint sounds of Weiss moaning. They are far too faint for anyone else to hear, but I can hear them loud and clear, and I love them so much. Wait, what? Moans? Don't tell me they're having sex already. That's crazy. I wasn't scrolled down, so I didn't know what it was. I feel the tip of Weiss's tongue brushing past my lips, searching for my tongue to dance with. I quickly enter search when my own tongue darts out and runs into hers, turning into a fight for whose lips they will dance behind. I don't know if you guys hear that. I don't know what the fuck was that. I'm sorry, guys. It's almost like a sparring match, I think to myself, defending each attempt Weiss makes to bring the passionate kiss back into my lips. We were like this for nearly 30 seconds. Nice. Embracing each other, communicating better than we ever have before, and without the need to use a single word. Weiss and I are far too much alike in certain things, especially since we both forget the necessity of breathing, especially during a kiss. We break apart, both of our cheeks red, lips parted with thin glistens of our mixed saliva on them. Our eyes half open and never leaving the gaze of the other. We were both panting in perfect sync with each other. I honestly forgot that we were just kissing in front of 5 people, and I think Weiss did too. Both of us could care less at this point. I have my princess, and she has her dolt. As we regain our composure and begin becoming aware of our surroundings, I can feel a radiating heat from behind me. As be none other than my sister Yang. Why is she all fired up, I wonder? And do not need to wait long for an answer. Just cause you were dating my sister doesn't mean you had to play tonsil hockey with her, Weiss. Yang shouts, running a laugh from everyone in the room. Weiss will be like, fuck you, Yang. Man. I gaze over my shoulder to look at my flaming haired sis. Her beautiful like eyes switched to this healthy shade of red that marked her disapproval. Just as I am about to complain to Yang, I feel Weiss pull my head above her breast, pressing my cheek to her slender form while she rests her chin on the center of my head. I'm sorry, Yang. I see Yang's eyes widen and go back to the lilac. Wait, I'm sorry, Yang. Damn, I thought she was being sarcastic. I see Yang's eyes widen and go back to their lilac color. A look of complete disbelief on her face, and I am sure on the faces of Team Juniper. Weiss actually apologized to Yang. Don't get attached to my momentary display of kindness and tolerance to your childish rants, Yang. Yep, there's the Weiss I know. I knew it was too good to be true. I am simply too lazy to bother with arguing when I am now coupled with one of the cutest girls in Beacon. Weiss, stop it! You're making me blush! I scream in my mind and quickly turn my head, hiding my red cheeks against Weiss's outfit, and earning several awws from everyone in the room. Well, my work here is done. I'll leave the interrogation up to Team Juniper. As for me, I'm going to make sure Blake is alright. Oh shit. Okay, that was not fake. Okay. Yang slips open the door slightly to let herself out, leaving Weiss and I stuck with a looming group. Well, let's not crowd them too much. Ruby, Weiss, please take a seat here on my bed. I am glad that Pure is so nice and able to command the room without a single fuss. She is far too nice for anybody to argue with her. Weiss leans off the wall, peeling me from her tight embrace, and proceeded Pierre's bed to sit down, the other four sitting on the nearest bed facing us. Looking at them now, the beds that is, they're almost identical to the ones in our own room. Our beds have wooden frames, twin size, and come with red bed sheets and white pillowcases. Although we did turn our beds to custom bunks, Team Juniper decided to put 2 beds across the room and then line up the other 2 beds parallel on the other side. Since Weiss and I are on Pierre's bed, I'm guessing the bed right next to us is that they are. The bed sitting right next to us that they are sitting on is none other than Nora's, and the 2 beds across the room are Ren's and John's. I assume you all have your own questions you wish to ask. I said this. I looked to my left at Weiss. I didn't notice, but she still has her arm around my waist and holding me close to her. She needs to stop that nervous habit she has of wiggling her fingers and tapping on a desk, because right now her fingers are poking against my hip, and it is pretty hard not to laugh. I suppose if Ruby is fine with it, we can answer them, as long as they remain decent. Nora. Weiss is back to her heiress style of talking. Prim, proper, firm, and unwavering. Well, I am actually curious as to what made both of you realize you are drawn to each other. I look at Ren as he speaks. Oh man, fuck. Alright. I'm not thinking that. It's the first time he has spoken up all day. I decided to speak up first. The thought was already at the front of my mind. Well, I started like Weiss after the whole incident in the Emerald Forest. She had such a graceful movement anytime she used Murder Master, and those icy blue eyes just... I turned my head. What the fuck was that? I don't know, I thought I heard something just now. It scared me. I turned my head and hid my face on Weiss's shoulder. I could feel Weiss shifting a little and feel the soft caress of her lips on my temple, followed by a brief chuckle. Unfortunately, I cannot answer that question. Really, Weiss? That's totally not fair. But I will say that Ruby's childish antics and charm are one of her best features, and it made me fall for her that much quicker. She can be impulsive and an extreme dolt, but she is the most determined, kind, and naive and intelligent woman I know. She's barely 15, Weiss. Well, I don't know. I think you can call someone a woman after they're 13, after turning 4. Fuck! Shit, I'm sorry, guys. Everyone in the room smiles at Weiss's response, and I can't help but to lean up and give her cold cheek a quick peck. We continue talking for hours. Everyone doing well to stay away from questions that prod too deep. Weiss keeps refusing to answer almost half of the questions asked, but I happily answer them all. It was somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock when this all started, and by the time we answered the last question, it is already 6:30. Weiss decides to announce to leave, and we quickly exit the room before more questions come along. That was different, I comment, looking at her with a bright smile. It was, but not unpleasant, aside from Nora's attempts of dragging the conversation down to the gutter. Yep, I agree. Pulling out my scroll to open the door, I enter my team's door. As I walk in, I pause in shock, staring over towards Blake's bed to see the tall kitty fauna out cold with the head on Blake's lap, who's reading one of Blake's favorite books, Ninjas of Love. Hey, you two, be quiet. Kitty cat's sleeping, Yang says in such a casual tone while she keeps reading the book to herself. What could possibly be so interesting about that book that would have Yang wanting to read it? Oh my god, I think I'm tripping balls, guys. I'm fucking scared. We need to go get dinner in about half an hour, I say to my sister, who just nods to me without peeling her eyes from the paper. Yang, why are you? Shh, it's just getting good. Never knew Yang was such a bookworm. Just let it be. Weiss whispers to me. I look over to my girlfriend. Girlfriend. I love the sound of that a little too much. And Weiss gives me a tight hug to bring me back out of my little daydream, smiling the entire time. Ruby, Rose, what will I do with you? Feed me cookies and milk? I ask, hoping I will sneak my way into getting a box. Only on Christmas. But Weiss, I whine, trying to give her my puppy face, but she is already walking towards the bathroom and soon running a shower. Odd, she usually showers in the morning. Guess she must feel icky. I shrug my shoulders and plop down into her bed, looking over at Yang, still in disbelief that she is reading a book that Yang will never let me step within 10 feet of. Totally not fair. I'll find a way to get Blake for that, and then find a way to get back at Yang for leaving me and Weiss with John's team. You said you have my back, Yang. Stop fucking. So he does say that in the end, but you know, I actually mean it. So that was something. No, that was not something. That was pretty good. That was fucking good. Oh man, I yawned so much. I'm getting tired, guys. But you know what? It was only 16 minutes and no one's still in here, so. Chapter 8, Warmth and Heat. POV is Yang Xiaolong. Actually, hold on, let me look at this. Yep, there is a. No, I'm not gonna say it. Well, my work is done. I'll leave the interrogation up to Team Juniper. As for me, I'm going to make sure Blake is alright. I quickly open the door and shimmy my way out. I'm happy for Ruby, but seeing those two all lovey-dovey makes me want to punch something. Not because my sister is being kissed by a girl 2 years older than her. Okay, maybe a little, but that's not the full reason. I'm jealous of her. Don't get me wrong, Weiss has nothing to be jealous of her, but I have been making clear attempts to get the attention of my own crush. The time it has taken Ruby to realize she likes the Ice Queen, I have spent the same amount of time trying to get a certain person to come out with me on one night in town. But she keeps thinking I'm just trying to add her to my list of people I've conquered. I sigh to myself, opening the door to Team Ruby's dorm with Blake's scroll. Looking inside, I see her sitting on my bed, reading that smutty romance novel of hers. Of course, fucking smutty novels. I close the door behind me and walk over to our bunk beds, dropping her scroll on her bed and looking at the bow-wearing cat girl. She changed out of her uniform at some point while I was with Ruby, Weiss, and Team Juniper. She's back into her normal clothes, her black button vest that has its last buttons just above her belly button before spreading apart. However, it keeps trailing down the back and unfortunately goes down to Blake's thigh. The unfortunate part of that being is it is long enough to cover that cute ass of hers. That Bella booty is real, man. I agree. I fucking agree. The Dark and Rose is giving 100% agreement to the Bella booty. Man, I wish I could pay the author right now. Just for putting that down. Underneath her vest, she is wearing her sleeveless white shirt. And on her left hand has a black fishnet glove I got her that goes up to her elbow. The glove being completely fingerless and having a large hole to slip her thumb through. It's nothing combat affected, but I saw it in one of the shops while I was roaming Vale and thought she would like it. I get a happy feeling anytime she wears it, which is not often. I'm not sure if she doesn't wear it to torture me or if she truly is not a huge fan of it, but either way it has gotten under my skin. So, Ruby and Weiss are now a couple. Your plan worked perfectly. I smiled at Blake, who doesn't even acknowledge me. I hate it when she does this. Always involved in her book and brushing me off. I realized I had my phone still on. When will she get it that I'm not trying to get in her pants? Man, you ain't getting in her pants. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I do have my fantasies. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to very much, but she is the one person I actually want to go out with for more than a week. And no, I don't mean 8 days when I say more than a week. Damn, I was right. She wants to very much. I genuinely have a thing for Blake Belladonna, the bookworm girl with a mysterious disposition. Damn, Weiss for teaching me that word. Has a love for the color black, and the best of all, she's the fondest with the cutest set of black cat ears. Fuck. I wish she wouldn't wear that bow. I love her ears. The few times she shows them, it becomes a fight between her and I to let me rut one, even if it's for a few seconds. Was there ever any doubt that my plan will work? I shake my head, snapping out my thoughts of the long list of things I can say I like about Blake. You know what I mean. No need to be a hostile kitty. I counter, hopping up onto my bed with her. She is sitting with her back against the wall and her legs fully extended. For some reason, she always is on my bed when she is reading. Must be a cat thing. When I climb up, I lay down on the opposite side of the bed, take a look at the cover of her book, tracing patterns on it with my eyes. Not trying to lay on my lap today, Blondie? She lowers her book just enough so I can see her sharp stare over the top of the book. Nope, you're probably mad at the cat nap joke I made while you were pretending to sleep, and had it in your mind to stop me the moment I tried. If there was one thing I could say I knew very well about Blake, it was her love of mind games and getting even. She is one spiteful girl, but I am not much different. I just use my fists instead of my head to get even. Kudos to you, Xiaolong. Normally I would, but you carried out my bidding the past 2 days to the letter, so my lap is your reward. The laugh, the freaking laugh. She keeps her eyes on me the entire time she speaks, and keeps to stare for an extra second or two before going back to her book. As far as I could see, she is not baiting me in, but I hate falling for one of her revenge pranks. I sit myself up and stay still, seeing if she is looking up at me, or if she shows any sign that I am inching towards the trap. Are you really being serious? I ask her while I move to my hands and knees so I can crawl towards the side of my bed she took over. You know I don't like to talk while I'm reading. She answers almost immediately. With an answer like that, she could be mad about the catnap comment, or she just wants me to think she is mad and have me miss out on one of the legendary wonders of Remnant, Blake's lap pillow. I close my eyes and let out a defeated sigh. I continue to crawl towards Blake and lay down to her left and on my side. I look up at her from around the corner of her book, then back at her thighs, which are half covered by her black stockings with an emblem of a white belladonna flower on each. I look back at her one more time and finally lean down, placing my cheek on her closest thigh, letting out a happy sigh. She was not toying with me this time. Oh shit, so I realize now that it's not, I was thinking it was her like symbol of a nightshade. I do not know what the flower was called. I barely realized that was actually a belladonna. I barely realized that. Well, let's see if I can push my luck, I say to myself. I slam my right arm under her thigh, then grab my right wrist with my left hand, locking the leg in my grip like I usually do to my pillow when it is not fluffed up enough. She doesn't say a thing about it, but a slight tense of her leg lets me know to loosen my grip just slightly. Took you long enough, she says to me in her usual mild tone. Well, it's not like you give me your lap out of the blue, I counter, nuzzling my cheek against the stocking, my ear running along part of her pale flesh, which is pretty cold for some reason. Why is your leg so cold? Ugh, don't tell me. Blakey, put the book down for a moment, please. I do my best to ask with my sweetest tone. I inch my head up in her lap to peek at her face underneath the book. When she looked at me earlier, she made a point to not allow me to see underneath her eyes. But as I look at them now, I can see the eye bags and clear look of fatigue. She hasn't slept at all, having this reoccurring dream involving Roman torturing. Some guy that RWBY dealt with at a dust shop and later was dealt with by Blake and Sung in the shipyard after trailing some White Fang operation. If this is about me not sleeping, I'd rather not hear it, Yang. Blake's calm voice takes a hostile change towards me. I don't like it when she is mad at me, but I need to talk to her about this. What is this dream about torturing that keeps you from sleeping? You could tell me. I'm here for you, you know? It's none of your concern, Yang. I am perfectly fine. It is my concern, Blake. You're my partner, and I worry about you. You're on the roof again, weren't you? You always go there when you can't sleep, and you refuse to put on anything warmer. You're sleep deprived, and you're going to get pneumonia if you keep this up. I sit up and snatch away Blake's book. I look around and find her bookmark near her side, dropping it into the page she is at. I then toss it below my bed and onto hers. I then turn my attention to the tired cat fawn, crawling and then kneeling in front of her. Can I have my book back? She seriously has the guts to ask me that? Not until you sleep. I am not going to sit here and let you slowly kill yourself. Especially not before I get to take you to the dance. Don't you dare forget about our deal. I shut down with anger in my eyes, my now red eyes meeting her amber glare. And why should I go through with it? You've always been after one thing when you find someone you want to date. I'm not another one of your playthings, Yang. I'm not gonna let my partner hurt me again. Shit. She has no idea how deep that cut into me. I don't want her to be a one-night stand. I don't want her. I want to be there for her. And I will, if she just gives me a chance. But I'm not trying to make you a plaything, damn it! I scream, more aura flaring out. I would be like shouting way louder, but it's 1:37 in the morning, so yeah. I pull my right arm back and swing my body towards Blake, burying my forehead into her shoulder while my fist goes through the wall right next to her. I begin taking slow, deep breaths, trying to calm myself down before I end up burning my bed. If you don't want to go with me, fine. At least go with Sun and get some sort of enjoyment out of it. I wait a moment before carefully pulling my arm out of the wall. It was a small enough hole that I could just lay my pillow there to hide it. At least until I find a way to fix that. I lift my head from Blake's shoulder and begin turning away. She hasn't said a word, and I can't meet the death stare she is most likely giving me. Before I could turn away fully, I feel a firm grip on my wrist and another grip on my opposite shoulder. Turn me back to face her. I keep my gaze low, then turn my head to look up at her. Her emerald eyes not staring at me in hate, but something else. Blake's gaze is weak and reminds me of a kin almost. No pun intended this time. Blake, I don't even get to begin my sentence. Something wiped by my face and left a burning sensation on my cheek. I look away from Blake's face to see her arm across her body and her hand wide open. She slapped me. I didn't think blondes were stupid, but with all that blonde hair, you are a downright moron. If I wanted to go with Sun, I would have already had a date. He stopped by a few times already, and I said no to him each time. I offered to go with you out of my own will. Since when do I go with you anywhere against my own will? Are you seriously that stupid? I don't even care that she is screaming at me. She admits something just now that cannot make me any more happier. She wants me to go to the dance with me. Blake Pendletona wants to go to the dance with me. With Yang Xiaolong. Of all the inconsiderate numbskulls things you could say, that is the absolute worst. She hits me on my shoulder as she continues to rant. 2, 4, 8 hits, and she is still screaming at me. But I have an ear to ear smile on my face. Blake wants to go to the dance with me. That is all my mind right now. Blake's gaze eventually softens. She's been hitting me a lot, wasting energy and tiring herself out. I can see it all over her face. I catch one of her hands when she tries to hit me again. Then the other seconds later, she keeps trying to pull her hands away, but she should know that I never let go when I have something I want. Those amber eyes, those beautiful, glistening amber eyes look to me. I've never seen Blake with such a harmless look on her face. I want to remember her like this forever. You're going to get yourself a healthy night's sleep, Blake, one way or another. My mind is made up, and she knows I won't be giving her a break. I climb down from my bed, pulling her down with me, and then sit myself on hers. Yang, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit here and make sure you sleep. I don't need a babysitter to sleep, but I'm a walking heater. Give it a shot. Anytime Ruby couldn't sleep, I lay her head in my lap and just flare my aura. I smile at Blake, pulling her onto her bed. I decided to sit myself against the wall like she was earlier, making us have a complete role switch. This doesn't mean I want to date you, she quickly says while she rests her head on my lap. I make sure to not push my luck and keep my hands away from her bow, instead resting my hand on her shoulder. You don't need to date me to get a portable superheater, or for me to take you to the dance. Man, classic Yang. My politest way of telling her to shut up and relax. She looks away from me and stares somewhere across the room, starting to lose herself in thought. Just relax and go to sleep, kitty cat, I whispered and smashed my knuckles together. A bright orange glow resonating from my body. Slight distortions appearing in the air around me from the body heat I started to let off. Within a minute, I can see Blake crack a smile, curl herself up into a more comfortable position. It's warm, Blake murmurs before she becomes dead weight on my lap and drifts into a hopefully nice slumber. I look around for something to distract me from falling asleep myself and spot Blake's book within arm's reach. Wonder what all the fuss is about with that book. I reach out and grab it, looking at the cover and shake my head. I am able to look at the cover clearly for the first time. Ninjas of Love. I guess I'll just read from her bookmark. I open the book and hold the bookmark where it was to make sure I do not lose Blake's page. She would kill me if I did. The book quickly gets me entertained. Within the next 10 pages begins to start to a steamy and spicy scene of pure, uncensored intimacy between this rogue... between a rogue ninja and a geisha he just saved from a samurai compound. If I did not pronounce that right, I'm fucking sorry. I begin to fidget and blush at the excess of detail to the scene. My aura calming down now that Blake is asleep, but still resonating enough heat to keep my body hot, in the area around the bed nice and warm. I didn't even notice Ruby was at the doorway until I felt the slight breeze from the door being opened. Hey, you two, be quiet. Kitty cat's sleeping, I say casually as Weiss slips in behind Ruby, still entranced by the book. I'm not worried about Blake waking up. With how exhausted she is, I am sure she could sleep through a Borbata stampede. I just want some quiet so I can keep reading this sexy slice of erotica. Man, Yang is into porn. I can hear Ruby say something, but I just nod to whatever it is. I don't want to tear my eyes away. Ooh, he's about to go inside her. I mean, fucking shit! I actually said that. I begin to get riled up as the steamy book begins to reflect in my body temperature. No wonder Blake likes these books. Yang, why are you... Damn it, Ruby, you're breaking my thoughts. Shh, it's getting good. I know what I'm going to be reading while I put Blake to sleep from now on. Oh my god, dude, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Alright. Sweet. Alright, we're doing this. We're doing another chapter. Alright. Man, I'm... shit. No, it says also on the author's note, it is almost 2 a.m. over here. It's almost 2 a.m. over here. We're 15 minutes away from that. But fuck it. Chapter 9. An alternate ending. The POV is on Blake Belladonna. And actually has a space this time between the names. Nice. I'm just kidding. No, it's alright for the first mistake. I mean, it was, I don't know, probably you were just like, you mislooked over that. I don't know. Oh, alright. You're not getting away this time, Tortrick. You're mine, I shout, shooting the glass window of the large warehouse that I've been looking through for the past 4 hours. I gotta leave from the bad side of town that there had been some White Fang activity near the edge of Southeast Vale. It was only rumored, but I had no other choice but to follow it and hope it will bring me to my goal. Seems like it paid off. I dive in through the shattered window, rolling to my feet and observing the dark warehouse and several trailer-sized containers. Oddly enough, there are no White Fang present, but straight ahead of me is none other than the orange-haired, white-suited crime boss, Roman Torchwick. Nice to see you again, kitty. You know, I can't talk like him, so I don't know. I know you aren't stupid enough to come after me alone. Where's Banana Boy? Red? What about that creepy kid that took down 2 of my airships? Talking about Penny, huh? He's spinning his cane cannon, that damned melodic cudgel of his. Just because he was able to take care of me one time, he thinks I will let him get the best of me a second time. I don't need anybody to deal with you, Torchwick, I snarl, grasping the string of my bow and pulling it off, exposing my cat ears. I tied a bow to the end of the hilt trigger of the katana of Gamelstrad and wrapped the rest of the long ribbon around my right arm. Slowly I pull the cleaver hilt of the Gamelstrad off of the katana and hold it in my left hand. With the katana on my right, I give a flick of the hilt, making it shift to its combat striker-fired pistol form. No need to be so hostile. Look, we can sit down, strike a deal, and we'll be out here with all this dust by morning. Fucking whatever. As he speaks, he constantly waves around his cudgel in a casual manner. You should know that I have no interest in striking a deal with criminal scum. I'm not here to strike a deal, Torchwick, I scream. Giving my pistol, I am not hesitating to pull the trigger. He quickly raises his cane up, twirling it in his fingers to block the oncoming bullet with an audible sigh as he grips his cane by the handle and begins walking towards me. Hope you gave Banana Boy a kiss goodbye then. It makes me sick. He enters striking distance, winding his cane up over his head and swinging it wildly in my head. I raise my cleaver to intercept it and change my pistol back to its katana before swinging it towards his kneecap. Our exchange begins. I had to say it so epically now. Our exchange begins. Torchwick blocking my alternating attacks with ease, bringing his cane down to block my katana, high to block my cleaver, and waiting patiently for his time to counter. I grow angry at his defensive posture. That's a fucking mistake. Switching my katana into his pistol for him once more and tossing it at his head. As expected, he tilts his head just enough to avoid the bladed top hitting him, but with the dim lighting of the warehouse, he can't see the dark ribbon attached to the gamble shroud. I smirk, raking my arm back to cause the ribbon to clench the trigger and cause my gun to fire, sending it spinning back towards me, and more importantly, at the back of Roman's head. I swing my cleaver at him as well. He can't dodge both. I finally have him. My eyes widen when I see him swing his cane behind his head, giving it a swift twirl to wrap the ribbons attached to my katana gun and adjust the trajectory of the oncoming weapon around him, right to my cleaver to be precise. The result being my own spinning gun hitting my cleaver out of my hand, and the ribbon still being wrapped around the barrel of melodic. Oh shit, melodic cudgel. Oh, that's his weapon name. Barely realized it. Face it, kitty, you can't win. We leagues apart. He grins, yanking his cane far behind his head, forcing me to step forward when the ribbon stretches out as far as it can go and tugs at my arm. The moment I get closer, he grabs his cane by the barrel and swings it at the foot. I just used to step forward, hooking my angle with the curve to handle the cane and treading me down to my back. Shit, that hurts. I close my eyes and clench the back of my head from the impact of my head to the marble floor. Upon opening my eyes, I am met with the side of the sight of the gun barrel of melodic. I can't see it right because I'm tired. Melodic cudgel aimed right between my eyes, and the flip opens target sight, assisting Roman's aim at point blank range. Maybe next time, kitty. Oh wait. He starts to laugh at his own joke, pressing the barrel to my forehead and savoring the look of mixed fear and disgust on my face. I see his thumb shifting over to the trigger, applying gentle pressure to it, starting to count down within my head until everything goes like, farewell, kitty. He smirks at me, my eyes closing tight, the echoing sound of the shot ringing in my eyes, but it never connects with me. I open my eyes to see Yang standing in front of me and Torchwick a few yards away, flat on his ass. Yep. The shot I heard earlier was none other than Ember Celica. So you're the famous crime boss. I gotta say, the emo hair doesn't work for you. Ever think of going with something more Italian? Yang chooses the worst time for her humor. I gaze at Torchwick from around her long, powerful legs. Even on an ass, he still has a firm hold on melodic cudgel and quickly aims on Yang for a quick shot. Yang easily counters with her own blast from Ember Celica. You know, I never knew you swung that way, kitty cat. I suppose you are what you eat. You fucker! Roman's arrogant smile, the arrogant smirk. Did I say Romans? I think I said Romans. Roman's arrogant smirk still on his face as she stands to his feet while the debris clears. She's not my girlfriend, Yank snarls. The quick response making my ears pull against my head. At least until I hear the second half of her sentence. Not until our first date anyway. Oh yeah. As much as I love to stick around for the fish market buffet, I'm in a bit of a rush today. Neo? Oh no, he calls out Neo. No. And Roman's back and a girl with pink and brown hair appears out of the shadows. You should have just said Neapolitan colored hair. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Standing next to him with an umbrella in hand. She doesn't say a word, but exchanges a warm smile at Yang before waving her umbrella and making her exit by leaving a clone of her in Roman that eventually shattered like glass. Damn it! Not again! I scream, punching the marble floor. One step at a time, Blake. At least you survived this time, Ning says while she steps over to help me up. Survive this time? What is that supposed to mean? I ask while grabbing Yang's hand and having the tall blonde put me to her feet. I told you, Blake, you were bound to get a good night's sleep if I used my oracle on you. I stare at Yang dumbfounded. I gaze about the warehouse, seeing all the large containers gone, and I look in front of me, Yang is gone too. Get some rest, Blake. Get some rest, Blake. Yeah, it's a fucking comma. I had to scroll down. I'm here for you. Yang's voice echoed in my head. Get some rest, I asked myself. Through my internal thought echoes throughout the warehouse. I opened my eyes to the sight of Yang out cold leaning against the wall with a head drooping forward. As I gazed around the room, I realized that we were still on my bed and in the same position I fell asleep in. I looked at a nearby dresser, spying that it is 5:30 in the morning. Damn, I slept for what, 11 hours? I stretch out, feeling knots in my back relieved, most likely courtesy of Yang's heat therapy. I feel great, I purr, climbing out of bed and taking a moment to look at Yang, realizing that she did not move a muscle all night. No dinner, no pillow, and not even being able to move because she had me on her lap the entire night. I lean over the bed, carefully placing one hand over her lips while I shake her shoulder with my other hand, waking the blonde brawler up with a slight start until she sees my amber eyes in the darkness. Yang, it is 5:30 in the morning. You haven't slept comfortably all night. How about you lay down and go to sleep again? I smile at her, but she gives a slight shake of her head and stands up, making her way to the door, still disorientated by sleep. I have no idea where she is going, but I quickly run in front of her open door, not wanting her to bang into it and wake up the newly coupled girls. Speaking of which, I look over to their respective beds, a bit upset to see them both sleeping on their own beds instead of laying together. Damn it! I wanted that to happen. I wanted them to lay together, man. I guess it's gonna happen later. I quickly leave the room, following after Yang and closing the door behind me. She surprisingly did not get very far and is sitting on the floor at the edge of the hallway, motioning me over. What is she up to? I asked, walking next to her and leaning against the wall to sit with the drowsy brawler. Slept well? She asked me while twisting her hips, several loud cracks of her back making me shiver and feel even worse than I already did. Like a baby. But it seems you didn't. Why didn't you leave me after I fell asleep? Or at least get a bit more comfortable? I raised an eyebrow, looking into Yang's lilac and bloodshot eyes. My gosh, she must have not slept well at all. Well, I kind of was focusing my aura for most of the night. I fell asleep around 3 a.m. from exhaustion. Holy shit, dude. That is some true dedication in there. That is some true care. Yep, I feel like a complete ass. I closed my eyes and let out a soft sigh. What am I going to do with you? You better get some sleep tonight. I am not going to do the dance with a sleep-deprived woman. I peek out the corner of my eye at Yang, seeing her smile for my comment. Anyway, let's go back and enjoy the next hour of sleep. I'm sure you need it. You can sleep on my lap this time. I smile while I stand up, tugging the blonde beauty up and helping her back into the room. I could read another chapter or two of Ninjas of Love while she is asleep. It all works out. Man, that was nicely made. I'm gonna be honest, that was nicely made. So that was a thing. Yeah. It's almost 2 in the morning. We're like 5 minutes away. So I guess it'll be a good time to stop the session for tonight. So I read from chapter 1 to chapter 9 in about a night. It took me about almost 3 hours just to get that done. And you know what? I'm fucking thankful. If it weren't for what I suggested and for most of the PMs that were given to me about this, about wanting to narrate stories and stuff like that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting here and I'm dedicating my time and just like that I could have used for sleep and doing this for you guys. Like this is why I like being a part of the RWBY community. This is why I love being a fanfiction writer, because I've found so many opportunities that I could do with you guys that could be fun and, you know, awesome. And I'm glad I'm doing this for you guys. I'm gonna sleep well tonight, and I hope you guys do too. Yeah. I had a great time reading for the past 3 hours. None of it was wasted badly. I felt like every minute was used wisely, and you know, it was worth using that time. Yeah, I could be asleep right now, but you know what? Fuck it, you know? Because, I mean, even though my health is important, I care about you guys too. So, good night, guys. And, as always, stay classy. This is Rose logging off. This is the end of the first session. I haven't even edited the other 2 videos that I did already. No, the other 3 videos. The other 2. The other one I made already. So by the time I finish this, I would have 3 audio recordings of myself narrating, and well, and the fact that I've made a long speech, and I don't know. I'm very tired, you guys. I don't know. Shit. I'm just gonna stop talking. Good night, guys. Stay classy.